Good morning, San Diego. Well, this is a real treat. The San Diego man has been on a journey for years to learn all about his family, where he's from. He didn't know for a very long time. J.D. Rittenhouse has written a book about his quest. And this morning, he is here with us in studio. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you, Elizabeth?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming in. You have an incredible story to tell. You've settled down here in the Chula Vista area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, pretty much.
And this is your book. You wrote this book. It's called Rittenhouse, and it's all about finding out where you're from. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You were raised, as I understand, in foster homes and orphanages, and for so many years you didn't know your background.
That's correct. I was born during the beginning of the Second World War, and my mother and father divorced when I was 6 months old. I was placed in an orphanage because my mother had to work.
Hard times.
Yeah,
it was tough times.
My father was only paying about $54 a month in child support, and she had to work, and so she placed me in a home. And I guess I was there until I was about 12.
Sure.
But as a result of that, I knew a lot about my mother's side of the family. But I didn't know anything about my side of the family. I was the only person that I knew that had the name Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. And that is the name of your book, by the way.
Right.
And this is what is, I think, something that stands out about your journey. And that is, as I understand it, you learned that some of your ancestors were very influential people.
Correct.
In the early years here in the U.S.
I think one of the first ones that I learned about early on was a cousin who was a famous poetess at the turn of the century, Jessie Belle Rittenhouse. That kind of piqued my interest, and I started learning about her, and then I learned about my ninth great grandfather, who had built the first paper mill in America.
The very first paper mill.
The very first paper mill. And then I learned about my seventh great uncle, who was a famous patriot, and was in fact the first Secretary of Mint of the United States.
Isn't that
I started delving further, and there were many, many more interesting characters.
Sure, an astronomer, a mathematician. Very interesting. And when you learned and you went back, first of all, who helped you with this? How did you do all of this research?
Well, in the beginning, you kind of communicate back and forth. There are a lot of people researching the family line that I wasn't aware of. And thank God for the internet, because early on I got on the internet and started my research there. And then found that there were other people also doing a lot of research on the family line.
Isn't that
And we would communicate back and forth. Some of the information that they had was good, and some of the information was a little fallacious. So you've got to sort all that out.
Sure. And you have taken your quest and have written a book all about it. I want to show it again. It is Rittenhouse, The Saga of an American Family, Volume 1, written by you, J.D. Rittenhouse, from right here in San Diego. And you do have, before we go here, there's a special event that you're going to be part of at a Barnes & Noble.
Right. At Grossmont Center, the Barnes & Noble at Grossmont Center, on May the 14th is having its first ever author afternoon, where they're going to invite several local authors to come in, talk about their books, have book signings.
Sure.
And
So folks
when-
can get a chance to meet you and shake your hand
right,
and learn
right.
all about
and
the
myself
process.
and other,
Sure.
and other local officers.
Well, sir, it's very nice to meet you. I think you have an extraordinary story to tell, and it's nice to know that you have been able to accomplish this, put it all in a book for all to read and experience for themselves. Thank you for dropping by.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, we're going to take a quick break on this Saturday morning. Keep it right here on Good Morning San Diego. It is cloudy out there, a little drizzly. We'll be right back.